This is a rosemary bush. Yep, you got it. The same ones that the same spice that you buy in the store and spend all that money on. You can basically have it for free. What a lot of people don't know is that when you cut these trimmings off like this, when you trim the bush, by the way, the reason I'm wearing gloves is because the aroma from this is so pungent. It's wonderful. It's wonderful, but it gets on your hands and your hands will smell like that. You can wash them and your hands will smell like rosemary for a long, long time. But I can take all these clippings, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and I can replant every single one of them, stick them in the ground, and 50% of them will grow. Some of them die, but I don't spend a lot of time trying to get them to grow. I just stick them in the ground and they grow. So right now I'm trimming this bush. It's grown from a tiny little thing. I didn't buy any rosemary, by the way. I didn't buy a plant. I took a couple clippings from somewhere, just trimmed the bush basically, just like I'm doing right now, and just stuck it in the ground right here, and it grew into this. So this is quite the plant. You can use it for anything. I mean, you can put this in, a lot of people put them in their spaghetti or other kinds of dishes, but it's a spice. It's a spice. So I'm just trimming it right now. Once it's finished, then I'll take it to the backyard and I'll plant it in a spot that I've got for it. Okay, that takes care of that. It'll grow back. It'll look just like it did before. A few months or few months, year, whatever it takes. Okay, let's go to the backyard. Before I put those in the ground, I'm going to put them in this flower bed right here. Just because I decided I wanted to try to be a farmer or grow tomatoes and whatever vegetables and stuff, and that didn't turn out too good. I found out that it's much easier to go to the store, buy a pack of tomatoes than it is to grow some. I mean, it's not that it didn't turn out. I mean, I grew tomato plants 10 feet high and got a few tomatoes off of them, but I mean, waiting 90 to 120 days for tomatoes to come up, and then they all come in at one time, and you end up having to harvest them, and you don't know what to do with them. So same was with pretty much everything that I grew. It did that, and I'm just not a farmer. But anyway, here's one I stuck in the ground. There's a lot of plants that you can just cut and stick in the ground, like those things right there. This is Florida, and those plants, I can just cut those off, stick them in the ground, and they'll grow. These bushes right here, you can't cut those off, but they have all these seeds that just fall on the ground, and then they just start growing, and you can just harvest them and put them in. There's another rosemary bush growing. That's mint. That stuff is like a weed. You put that in the ground, you can't get rid of it. There's another one. There's some chives. See those chives in there? And they grow like weeds. They're basically weeds. This stuff is just an ornamental plant, and it grows really well. And it's kind of a ground cover thing. And then I've got these bricks along the edge here. Those things, I mean, you cannot, once you start getting those in the ground, you can't get rid of them. Those kind of like, I don't know, greenish variegated things, and those plants do kind of the same thing, but you know, they're not quite as as easy going. I mean, you might get 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 2. These things are really hard to grow, but you can do it. You can stick them in the ground, and you can cut them off, stick them in the ground, and they will grow. I mean, you can see there's one right there. Here's some more that I just stuck in there, and they're growing. This thing grows like crazy too, like that. It does the same thing. You just cut it off and it'll start growing. But anyway, let me go back and I'll just show you what I do. I mean, there's no science to this at all. This isn't like rocket science here. It's just you know, it's just pretty pretty easy what I do. There's nothing special about it. So here, let me put this down a little bit so you can see what I'm going to do here. So I have all my clippings. So what I do is I have believe it or not, this is what I use. I have a tire iron. See? It's something you would change a tire with, but it's got a nice pointy end on it that you use to, you know, pop the hubcap off. And I take this and I stick it in the ground and twirl it a bit like that. And then I take one of these and I just shove it in the hole like that. And I might put 1 or 2 in there like that. So here's another one. I might grab some like this and just you know, take them like this and stick them in that same hole, and then I just kind of push them together like that. And I'll do that for all of these. And, some will grow, some won't grow. I don't care. I mean, I'm probably going to end up giving these away to people. You know, I just put them in Dixie cups, basically Dixie cups, and then just give them away, you know, and plants. People will take them and grow and whatever. Oh, look at this one. This one. I don't know if that'll grow. When they're this big, like that, I'm not sure that it's gonna survive. But we'll try it. We'll see what happens. It's a test. In a few days, I'll come back, and a lot of them will be brown and dead and whatever. But then some of them will be going like crazy, and you know, will survive and grow. So this is it. This is what I do. Yeah, that's rosemary. You can do that with a lot of different spices. They do the same thing.